Low down to the floor. Good morning. Good morning, people. How we doing today? I have to look down here because that's where the screen is that I can see. So I can see what I see down here. Hey, everybody. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's Friday. It's Friday. Everybody ready for Friday? Yes, it's Friday. Let's see what the market has for us today. We got some good plans. We got good plans for the market. I hope you got good plans for the market today. I got good plans for the market today. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning, everybody. I'm giving the platforms a chance to invite all the people. Tell the people we're in here. It needs to tell the people that we're here because I'm here, and the market needs to tell the people that I'm here. Looks like not a lot of people know that I'm here because I see one people. I see one people here, and just gonna keep on going with what I'm going with, and then I'm gonna be setting myself up for the market to open. I got plans today. I got plans. The last couple times I've been on Monday and Wednesday, I've been back in the classroom this week. So being in the classroom this week, make sure it's got all the people. Yep, I'm in the classroom this week. This is summer school, summer B. And this was the first week, so I had to I had to shift my morning schedule. My schedule included me going into the classroom, so I had to shift my time to 8:15. Monday and Wednesday I did 8:15 instead of 8:45, which is when we were doing it. So we've got about 5 more weeks of that, and then I'll see what we'll do. I need to check my schedule to see what first semester looks like as far as time goes, because I don't know what my times are, but I'll worry about that when it comes. I'll worry about those things when they get here. Not now, because why think about it now? Too early. Anyway, so for the next 5 weeks we're in summer school. I'm hitting 4 days a week, running them. The students usually get 15 weeks of math. They're getting it in 6. So we on a ride, and some of them after 3 days are like, it's a whirlwind. And I'm like, hey, this is what happens when you take a summer class in half of the summer session. That's usually in the whole semester. This is how it goes. So I got to cover a lot of material. So I'm just going to do what I do. And hopefully you'll be okay when it's all finished, because I'm still going to do what I got to do. Hopefully you'll be along for the ride. Okay, so let's look at what the chart's looking like. I'm in front of my big screen today, so everything is big and beautiful. When I'm at school, I only have my little screens, but I'm back at home with my big baby. Yes, I got my big baby today, so I can see everything very clearly. I can see clearly now in my home office. I can see clearly when I'm in my home office. Yes, I can, because I got the big computer. Got the big screen over here, Hey, Michael, ain't seen you in a minute. How you doing? Okay, so this is what SPX is doing right now. 61.63. We're up pretty high. Yeah, we're up pretty high from where we closed yesterday. Where did we close yesterday? Wait a minute. I'm thinking these numbers are a little spicy pricey. Where were we yesterday when we closed? Oh, 61.40. So we're up about 20 points from where we closed yesterday, but that's going to give us a little bit of a gap up open. Definitely. Yeah, a little bit of a gap up, but we're at some all-time highs. So we might need to, pull back a bit. Folks are anticipating a pullback off these all-time highs. But listen, what do? We trade what we see. We trade what we see up in these parts. But this is SPX 500. The way that we can see SPX when the market is closed, we see SPX 500. All right, let's look at what did SPX do yesterday, because we definitely had some interesting pieces and parts yesterday. SPX yesterday is here, showing it with the VWAP. You don't know what VWAP is, you need to come on in to join our community and see, so we can talk about and learn about how do we use VWAP as sellers. VWAP is volume weighted average price, and it's used a lot of different ways, but we use it as sellers, and you need to know how to do that if you're a seller. Anyway, these marks here show us that opening range. When our opening range breaks out or broke out yesterday, we ride with the breakout as sellers, and we did just that. Rolled it on up. It went up. This is a 15-minute chart. I can change it to a 30-minute chart. That way we won't have as much data here. We had an opening range breakout here at the 10 o'clock window. And it made its move, came back down, kind of retested a little bit, but you see how it kind of touched back on VWAP, and VWAP used VWAP as like its support, and boom, boom, went on its way, rolled in the channels, going on up, closed at 61.41. As I said, definitely was an up day yesterday. And if you were able to ride the wave or kind of go with the price action, you made a few dollars yesterday. SPY, Triple Q, IWM, they should have all looked very similar. We'll look at those in a minute. I won't spend much time on those right now. But this is how we traded it yesterday. We traded put credit spreads all day long. And at some point, we did get some call credit spreads because we like to do both sides, use our collateral. I had 61.50. I might have had 61.45. Yes. 61.50, and then I had 55. I had a few things up here, and I haven't done those trade recap videos in a minute. I need to do that so that I keep doing those. This is a gap that needed to be filled. If you can look back, gaps like to be filled. I think this gap came in from February. If you see back here, this is February the 19th. There was a gap that was left from back here. The market, especially SPX, likes to fill its gaps. There was a gap back here from February 19th that got filled. I was just, my mind goes all over the place. I was just thinking that I had some leftovers from food the other day that I didn't eat. I'm going to have it for breakfast. Anyway, there was a gap here. Gaps are from the close of one candle to the open of the next, and that happened from February 19th to 20. And yesterday, the price action went and filled that gap. After it filled it, it pulled back. It closed it in the middle of it, but the gap is now filled. Dun, dun, dun. Gap is filled. We like it. We just need to know that gaps will fill. I need to put a line up here because this is now a daily resistance. Let me put a little note on it so I can know to put that there. So I'll remember daily resistance. So I'll remember that that's what that is in the future when I come back, because this line here is a weekly resistance. And let me see, what was I wanted it to be on the top, not on the bottom. Did it show it there? Visibility, coordinates. Oh, no. I wanted it to say it on the top. Oh, there we go. The top, not on the bottom. Weekly resistance. That was something I put on my chart a while ago, but it was good to have it here when price started bumping up against it a couple of days ago. I was able to see that that's what this was. So I knew that the price would respond to that after it got here. That's why we put the weeklies, the dailies, and even sometimes the 15 to 30 minutes on our chart. That way we know when price gets there, we can kind of have something that we'll see how is it going to respond when it gets here. All right. Let's go from here to see what else we want to look at in our thing for today. All right, the VIX. Nope, we'll start here. I guess the VIX is not here. Let me get a window that tells us what is our VIX for this morning, because I'm thinking it's probably in the 16, 17s because the market is still up, which means the VIX is down, down, down. And when the market is up, the VIX is down. Trump says the U.S. has signed a trade truce with China. Please don't believe everything y'all read and everything y'all see, because some stuff just don't be true. And that is not good English. I understand that's not good grammar. Some stuff isn't true, though, okay? It might be. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that we can't believe it all at face value. Trump says the U.S. has signed a trade truce with China. The U.S. and China move closer. So we ain't necessarily signed it. It's closer to a trade deal as they formally submit the framework agreed in Geneva. Stock futures rise as trade talks, Fed bets provide the boost. And look at who could replace Powell as Fed chair. Don't fall for that either. The open road ahead for investors. Global equity funds see outflows for second straight week. Fed's Kashkari expects 2 cuts. Could always pause if necessary. Meta and Anthropic when we want to wait. I still want to see this. Nvidia breakout puts $4 trillion market value within reach. Nike had supposedly Nike forecast smaller drops on sales, profit, stock surge. Even though they dropped, the stock still moved. Risk of a sudden bubble is rising. Okay, we're good on that. We'll move on to the next thing. See what's next. Did we ever get a VIX open? Doesn't look like we did. Never got a VIX there. Okay, I don't need 2 SPXs. I'm going to close one of these. Maybe that'll speed things up a taste. CNBC, all the futures are green at this point. Stock futures rise on trade deal hopes. S&P 500 poised for a record high. Hey, Janae. How we doing? Hey, Ward. I think I said hey to you already. China confirms the details of a U.S. trade deal. Okay, so maybe we got now some confirmation that it's not just one person saying we got something that we really don't have. Europe will buy more American weapons and pave the way for trade deal, EU Council chief says. Hemi V8 engines and mechanical bulls inside Stellantis plan to revive its Ram truck brand. Okay. We checked out Tesla supervised invite-only robo-taxi launch. Here's what we saw. Looks like for us, all of the futures are green. If we look at Europe, everything's green over in Europe. Barclays and Deutsche Bank shares at decade highs on trade deal optimism. Asia is a mixed bag. We've got Nikkei and Nifty 50 are both green. ASX, Hang Seng, and Shanghai are all red. As far as crypto goes, oh shoot, that's going to go to the wrong page. Yep, I didn't want to do that. I want to go to crypto. Let's go to the crypto page. It's going to take a minute to open that up. So let's go on to the calendar while we wait. Oh, you don't want to feel it. What is going on over in here? Ah la la. Everybody just taking your time. Do we have a calendar? We don't have nothing over here. Let's pick it. Let's keep it moving. Keep it moving, people. Keep it moving. We have a show to do. Grind more Philadelphia, the process. Yep. TGIF, Janae, it is definitely Friday. Friday. Yes, it is. None of these things. Okay, here we go with Adam's numbers. Monster long in SPX on Wednesday. Yes, 2 p.m. The long trigger was given on the failed breakdown of 6090 targets posted then. And yesterday, 8 a.m. were 6122 and 6132, 6152. All were hit. 6170 is the bonus that was posted at 4 p.m. The plan is to hold runners. 6158 is support. 6158 is support. We're at 61. Is that number supposed to be that? That seems like that's a big number. Yeah, that does say that. 6158 is support. It's been tested. 6170s, 82 and 6200 are up next. If 6158 fails, then we're down at 6148 and 6132 below, which is where we are now. We're in this window between 6148 and 6132. The gap between ES and SPX is 50 points. So if you're looking at Adam's numbers, you need to subtract 50 points from his numbers because he trades ES, we trade SPX, and there's a 50-point gap between those two right now. The XSP range is from 613 to 620. From 613 to 620. I'm going to go back to the last screen. We're going to be able to see that the VIX is currently at 1625. The VIX is at 1625. They keep showing the Lucid card like it is doing the doggone thing. There we go. Y'all see the VIX? 1624 down, which means the market's up, down, up, down, up. That's the way the VIX does when it's down, which was in the 16s yesterday, and the market was up yesterday. So that's how that goes. I think we looked here. Crypto doesn't want to fill in. So we're going to leave that alone. It's not quite pertinent to the running of our show, but this is pertinent of the running of our show. Friday, nothing on Friday. So there's no way this Friday is empty. There is no way. 8:30, we got pending core PCE. Came in at 0.2%. It's green. They thought it was going to be 0.1. Personal income, 0.4, 0.1, and personal spending. Those are both red. They anticipate a little bit different. 9:15, we've got FOMC people talking. 10 o'clock, we've got University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations coming at 10. And at 4:30, we've got a bank stress test. That's going to be after the market is closed. So we won't need to be worried about that. But of these things, I'm thinking the 10 o'clock, University of Michigan, it's showing it as orange right now. In the past, that used to be a red thing. So I'm not sure why it's showing orange now. Why is it showing orange? Right. We'll wait and see what investing. Oh, there it is. Investing.com popped up this time. Popping up faster. Popping up faster. Yes, you are. Good job. Okay. Core PCE data that came out. Got some green numbers there. University of Michigan shows as 2 stars, which would be an orange folder. That's going to come out at 10. 11:30, Atlanta Fed GDP. Our speculative net positions, that all happens after this. So that's all in the same. So really, our only thing is the 10 o'clock University of Michigan. Did I say 10? Yeah. 10 o'clock University of Michigan is what's coming up then. So at this point, from that standpoint, those are the only landmines we've got to contend with. But y'all know how that goes, right? This is the screen of the freebies, E2T freebies. Hey, my day. E2T freebies. Only because I'm only hitting it because we're at this screen. I might as well go ahead and mention it. We already talked about the VIX, right? We already talked about Adam. Yep, I think we can go to the charts again. I think that's where we are. Did we talk earnings? I think Nike had earnings this morning, and that they didn't have, or this morning or yesterday, and they didn't do all that great, but they seem to be running. The price seemed to pop, even though their earnings didn't do so great. I saw that in a feed in one of the Discords I was reading. Hello, just open up. There we go. Yeah, Nike, after close yesterday, they had their earnings, but they seem to still move a bit. Folks will be waiting, I guess, to see what happens. Walgreens Boots was yesterday. Hive, McCormick, Nike this morning, Concentrix, Interpack, and then Apogee was the only thing from this morning. We'll see what happens with earnings next week. All right, let's go to the charts. That's what's running up so much of my juice. I talked about the gap already on SPX that got filled yesterday. So I actually could take this gap off my chart, but I wanted to make sure I showed what not that yesterday's move was because of the gap, but I wanted to show that gaps generally on SPX do get filled. They may not always get filled at the time we expect them to get filled. So actually 2 gaps got filled yesterday. Y'all see this? This gap from February 20 to 21st also got filled yesterday. That was the first part of it. And then price just kept on going and went on up and filled all of this February 9th gap. So both of those gaps actually got filled. But from what I can see, it gapped up yesterday and left something behind. This right here is a gap that got left behind with yesterday's move. Y'all, what does that mean, people? What does that mean? Because it closed down here, and the gap is from the close of one thing to the open of the other, and then you pull back off price action. So this is another gap that was left behind yesterday. Woo woo. That means we got some motion that will bring back down. This gap will go down as low as 60.92. That means there will be some more bottom movement. Let's see if there's another one here that's not filled. So there's going to be two gaps down here that will need a filling. There we go. We left some stuff behind, and now we gotta at some point we will have to come back and get it. This gap here. Now, gapping is something that you need to know how to chart. For those who are definitely trading, I always say this, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. Don't be out here in these streets not knowing how to chart. Where can we learn how to chart? I got two places you can learn how to chart. Okay, I got two places you can learn. Actually, I got three places you can learn. One of the places you can learn how to chart is, did I get rid of it? Nope, here it is. One of the places you can get some charting is right here on this, the secret to maximizing your profits without hurdles. This is a free, for the free webinar. You can go to the E2T-freebies and get into on this free webinar. And I think you can also go to, I want to say it start with the chart. I think it start with the chart. Start with the chart.com. Let me put it in the chat. So in case you want to go straight to it. Start with the chart.com. You can go straight there. That's the way you can freely get some intro to charting, right? It's going to give you all the intro information, going to hit the support, resistance, candles, some indicators. It's going to give you that. That's one way to start your how do we learn how to chart thing. That's one way, okay? What's the other way? The next way, because you're probably going to need to get a little deeper. After you do that, you're going to need to see something a little deeper, because you're going to need more. Just telling you, I'm not telling you because I just, trying to just get you separated from your capital. But I'm telling you, if you want to make more money, you're going to need to be able to chart. Period. If you're trying to do this game or this trading thing long term, you're going to need to be able to chart. And I'm harping on it because there's no way around it. All right. There is just no way around it. You can delay it all you want to. And while you're delaying it, you're losing money. It's just what it is. While you're delaying it, you're using money. The next thing you can do is there is a training course I did, Chart Your Way to 100K. If you're a person who is ready for learning to chart and you can do a do-it-yourselfer kind of thing, Chart Your Way to 100K is going to walk you in a more in-depth way in how do you chart. Starting again with candles, you can start as a beginner, support, resistance, gaps, indicators, yada, yada, all the whole nine. That's the whole nine. And you can get that at my website, educator2trader.com. I'm only telling you this because you need to know how to chart, period. Right? From me, learn it from somebody. I don't want you to overpay for it because you can go somewhere else and pay a whole lot for it. Okay. I'm just going to leave it there. The other thing you can do, this is the third thing you can do, and some of you probably should do because it will be more comprehensive, is you can come to E2T University when it starts in August. E2T University is going to include the charting piece, but it's also going to include how do you incorporate that into strategies and make money? How do you put all the pieces together and use your charting to make money? All of it goes together. So those are three places that you can go and learn, or you can be, signed up and use charting, and it's going to benefit you. All righty. That's what you can do. Let's move to the charts. Now that we're talking about charts, let's go back to the charts and use them to see what's going on in the market today. All righty. We looked at SPX. Let's take us down to a smaller time frame. We looked at what it did yesterday. I'm going to go back to SPX 500 so we can see what it's doing right now. Make that move right now, SPX. Y'all know I will entertain myself. It used to be when I first came on YouTube. I missed the interaction because before I did YouTube, I used to do um Zoom meetings with my folks every morning. So I had the interaction of my people. So when I went to YouTube, I didn't have any more interaction. So I missed it, and I would be like, I don't have anybody to talk to, and I missed it. But after that, I got used to just entertaining myself. So I'm gonna entertain myself. Listen, y'all don't have to laugh at the jokes. And I know when y'all listen to me, you're probably getting dressed or whatever you're doing when I'm talking, and you're probably laughing on your own because I'm gonna entertain myself. Believe it. Believe it. Okay. So this is SPX 500, which is running right now. We can see SPX in the pre-market, and this is the way we can see it in the post and pre-market, is we use SPX 500 on TradingView. If you don't have TradingView, you probably should look at getting it, because TradingView is something that I like that it has so many indicators. So does Thinkorswim, but I like that there's a lot more free open indicators, and they're easy to get to on TradingView. It offers some things. One of the main things it offers for me is VWAP, and I like it. I can't see VWAP on SPX on Thinkorswim, but I can see VWAP on SPX on TradingView. So Ward says I should have my own show. I do have my own show. This is my own show. This is my own show. Okay, let's go to SPY. Looking at SPY in the pre-market, see what it's doing right now. What is SPY doing? I'm actually going to turn off my VWAP now because I don't want to see it now. It'll be in the way. I just want to see the other stuff. I added me an indicator over here. I added full time frame continuity. I think this one's a little bit better than the one that came with Strat Assistant, but the one over here on the right, I mean, they look the same right now, but I have seen them there's some differences during the day. So I added this one over here, and I'm excited about that. Looks like from where we closed yesterday, 611.90, we're now at 613.50. So there's probably going to be a bit of a gap up from where we are. That's where we were yesterday and where we are right now. We've still got about 45 minutes, so I don't know what the gap is going to look like, but currently this gray part would be the gap. Okay, that's where we currently are as far as the prices and the gap. 613.46. We closed at 611.89. All right, so what does that mean for us? We closed here, closing price. I'm gonna put a little note here. I don't really trade SPY like this, but I'm gonna put a little note here. What's this, Thursday? Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. Previous day close, because who knows that I may not look at it as Thursday, but previous day close, that I can go with. It closed here yesterday. And then that'll let if and when I come back to SPY. Sometimes I do that little gap up, my little gap closure at the open. Sometimes I do that trade. It depends on how I'm feeling. Or after the last week, I hadn't been able to be feeling, because at 9:30 when the market opens, I am teaching algebra. So I'm not looking at the market, because I'm trying to make sure that the children know how to combine. They're not children, that the adults know how to combine like terms, and do they know how to do exponents. So at 9:30, I'm not trading anything. I am trading information to young adult freshman college students. That's what I'm doing at 9:30. Okay. This is SPY. Okay, let's look at triple Q. Is SPY at all-time high? Does anyone know if we are currently at all-time highs? And if we are, y'all tell me in the comments. Yesterday, triple Q closed at 546 and some change. I'm going to put this on here. I'll write my little note. Yep, previous day close. I'll write that here. On triple Q, looks like there is some resistance here at 549. But it's gonna gap up as well. Well, at this point, looks like it's gonna gap up. If it closed here, and it's currently at 547. It closed at 546.23. It's at 547.80. So it's about $1.50 above where it closed yesterday. So there's potentially going to be a gap up open in triple Q as well. All right. Trade what you see now. Hey, Antonia or Antonia, how you doing? It depends on how you pronounce your name. Depends on, some people pronounce it Antonia or Antonia. But hi, either way. Sometimes you might just call yourself Tony. IWM. Let's see what IWM has going. What does IWM have going? IWM closed yesterday at 215.40. It had a massive day yesterday too. I've been looking at IWM during the day, and yeah, it had a massive close. I mean, massive day. Previous day close. Okay, yeah, it had a really good close yesterday. Good day. Y'all see, this was IWM yesterday. With everything else, it just ran and ran. It did its thing. I think I put that on here for something else, so I'm gonna take it off so I don't have myself confused later. Sometimes I put stuff on my chart, then later I'm like, why did I put this here? I have to take it off because then the lines, if I don't write a little note with it, I don't know why it was here. What were you here for? But that was yesterday. It took a little minute to get moving, but when it got moving, it was like, we ready to go. We're ready to go. All right. That was IWM. That is IWM. It closed yesterday at, like I said, 215.40, and it's currently at 216.07. So almost $2 up from where it closed yesterday. Let me put this resistance line on it. This is the top it's been so far, 216.54. It's probably going to have a gap up open as well. Right. Morning, Julie. All righty. So those are the stocks. Those are the 3-4 we look at in the morning. I think NVIDIA's had some movement here. I'm going to look at it real quick. I don't really watch NVIDIA like that, but you know, NVIDIA is the boat raiser. It raises all boats. And I think it got a boost or something that happened where it something to do with the 3 trillion something I read just now. I think I read it on the show. Support at 154, resistance at 156. It closed yesterday at 155. It had a dancing day yesterday. Y'all see all this movement? This is all a bunch of consolidation. It just danced in between those two zones. Whoever was in there yesterday was getting chopped up. This was Chop City for NVIDIA yesterday. I mean, it was going up and down. So if you were riding up and down for these $2, you might have been making money. But this right here was Chop City. Wow. Wow. Well, this nice up here, this 312 would have paid somebody if they rolled this back down. And this 312 going up would have rolled up with it. I could see where you could make some money as a buyer, but I don't buy like that. But if you were a seller, if you got outside, you got below 154 and got above the 156, but that's not the expiration. That's not the expiration for, why are you doing that? Okay, I don't want all those. We need today's expiration, but I guess it would have been fine to do today's expiration. How many of those do I have there? Okay, I didn't want but one. There we go. Well, we see what's the deal. What is the dealio? Okay, that's Exxon. Going back to where we were. I covered all my charts. It is at all-time highs. Okay, thank you, Antonia. That's good to know that they are at all-time highs. And generally they don't go to all-time highs and keep pushing. Just like when SPX hits 6,100 or hits those psychological numbers, they generally pull back. They don't go across the mountain and keep going. They go up into the mountain, look around a little bit, and then they go, okay, let's go back down here and gather our strength, and then we come back and try again. All right. Our option seller zone membership, I was just talking about, we trade SPX and XSP every single day. That's what we do. And if you're trying to make your credit spread money every single day with us, then, come on, Cletus. Yesterday, I think I made about $720, $800. Was that yesterday? I made $1,100 Wednesday and $700 and something yesterday in my trades, and people in my community too. Some days I post all the stuff. Now, Monday and Tuesday were rough for us because Monday and Tuesday had all kind of foolishness. But Wednesday and Thursday we were green. And not just, me, it's the community. So we work together, we trade together, we make money together. Yes, we do. So if you want to come on and join us, if you're trading SPX already or you're trading credit spreads already, you're definitely in line. If you're trading SPX and not profitably, which could very well be happening because SPX will chew you and eat your lunch. Okay. So don't just hang out over in there and get chopped up by yourself when you can be with a community to help you get what you need. All righty. Don't do that to yourself. As I tell my kids, my students, don't play yourself because that will be playing yourself. But come on and join the membership, $147 a month, or $14.97 annual if you just want to pay all at one time, which people do. They just pay all at one time. That way they ain't got to think about it every month. It's already just paid and they ready to ride with us all month. I can tell you, I won't make a promise, but I can tell you that you can make your money back in one trade. Anybody in my community want to agree with that? That you can make your money back in one trade? I have folks who come in and they in one day make their money back, and then they make 4,000 and 5,000 in the month or 2 months they're with us. Antonia said, I've been selling credit spreads on NVIDIA 5 to 12% monthly. Antonia, you need to come on, Antonia, and join SPX every day. If you can do that with NVIDIA on 5 to 12% monthly, you need to come on to SPX and be doing 5 to 12% every day. All right, because we making 10 to 20%. And I'm again, that's all results are not the same. This is not investment advice. I'm gonna say all the things, right? Everybody's results are not the same, right? But we're making 10 to 20% daily on our collateral. Daily. And you ain't even got to be risky to do that. I mean, literally, you can be out pretty far. You can put a trade out on the call credit spread and the put credit spread side and get $50 on each side and be far away from the heat and make $100 a day. And that's 20% return on your 500 and not really be at risk. Yeah. Where do you sign up? I sent you the link. bit.ly/E2T-membership. Yeah, you can. And if you already know how to do credit spreads, all you need to do is be able to run it on SPX. All right. And we run it every day, all day. And there's alerts. I mean, I give out the alerts on what numbers to do, what strikes I'm doing. That's really what strikes I'm doing. And generally we're in the same spot. We've got ways that you can lock in your profits. We've got a strategy for that. And you got a community of people to trade with. All right. And you see people who are answering the questions. I'm definitely not selling something that is all unrealistic. You gonna make that. I'm not doing that because I don't do that because it's not real and I don't lie like that. But I'm telling you what's happening. Right? I'm telling you what's happening in our community every single day. All righty. We got people who hear and they can tell you that their money is going up every day. Do we take losses? Yes, we do. We do take some losses. But our wins do outweigh our losses. Our wins do outweigh our losses. Okay. We've got bundles. If you just want training classes, we do have training classes for all the strategies that I teach as a seller. Options 411, the basics of short selling, cash secure puts, covered calls, credit spreads, SPX stuff. If you need to create a trading plan, all those things are at my website there. E2T University is coming up in August, where we're going to start from basics all the way up to how to make money with us and how to do any of those strategies I teach, as well as SPX every day. I'm going to teach you all the things along the way, but you got to join the university if you don't know how. I'm an educator. I educate. I'm teaching people how to fish, right? Even though in my community, I give trade signals, even with those trade signals, I'm teaching. I may give you, this is the trade, and you might be in it. But even while we're in the trade, we're looking at how is price action? How is our trade when it's challenged? What do we do when we're watching that trade and watching our money? What are we doing for strikes? There's so much training that still happens while we're in it. And one of the reasons why that is effective is once your real money is on the line. So I may give you an alert. You're into a trade. Once your real money is on the line, you're definitely listening real close to what somebody else has to say about it. Okay. You're like, okay, wait, what are we doing? Is this, are we going to get breached? Is it going to turn around? Is it going, you definitely watching. And when you're watching the chart and you're watching how price responds, you're watching your indicators, you're using your confluences. These are all the things we're using to learn how to manage our trades for ourselves in the future. So though I may give some trade alerts, which at this point I'm in the classroom a good bit of the day, so I'm not giving anywhere near as many as I was giving when I was sitting at my desk all day. So some people trade on their own, some people just wait for me, and then we trade together. But even in the midst of that, you're still learning, because we're having to talk through and think through what's happening during the day, even while our money is on. Johnny B. Good says nobody wins every day. You do lose too, right? Yeah, we do lose. I didn't say we win every day. Actually, this week I lost twice, and this week I won twice. So yeah, nobody wins every day. Definitely not. The whole point is that we need to win more than we lose. That's what you want. If anybody is on this here internet telling you that they win every day, you need to find somebody else to go follow, because they're lying. They're lying, and you don't want to be following nobody who's lying to you. I do provide one-on-one coaching. If you just want to be coached and you've got some, maybe you need to fine tune your strategy, or you're not sure what to do next, you're not sure what strategy works best for you in your life, or you've got a strategy and it just needs some tweaking, then you can meet me for a one-on-one. All right, I think we're at the end of all of that. I think I've covered everything I wanted to say, and we can go ahead. Yep, I've been here 45 minutes. I'm gonna go eat my breakfast. I was so excited about remembering I got breakfast food to heat up. Mm-hmm. All right. Declaration. I declare I'm a great trader, a successful trader, and a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My account is growing steadily. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I have a strategy that I use for my trades. I don't randomly place trades. I'm a level-headed trader who trades my plan and not my emotions. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. Help us today to trade our strategy with wisdom and knowledge. Allow us to prosper enough to have what we need and enough to bless others. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen. All righty. So those of you who are in my community, we are also going to have a live Zoom call. This is another thing we do, Antonia. We used to do it more times a week when I was available, but today I'm free. We're going to have a Zoom call this morning. Well, we'll trade together. We'll do live trading together this morning. Yeah, so I'm going to hop off here and we'll be in the Telegram, and then I will see you all on Zoom, maybe about 10:15 or so. Let's see if we get a breakout this morning. We'll watch. It might be a little earlier if we get a breakout, but definitely we'll do a Zoom this morning. All right. So what are we going to do today? We're going to do 3 things. We're going to stay green. We're going to get this money, and we're going to have a great green day. I will see you in the market. Goodbye, everybody. Antonia, I'm looking for you. All right, bye.